first compensation I want to talk about today is the compensation of upward rotation and poor control coming back into downward rotation. What we see with our athletes often is as they raise their arm up in the air, we need to see a nice upward rotation of that shoulder blade and a nice controlled downward rotation of that shoulder blade. So as they raise their arm up, we see a nice smooth upward rotation, and when they bring their arm back down, that's nice and smooth on the way down. However, what we often see in the presence of some type of shoulder dysfunction is we may see a nice easy upward rotation of the shoulder blade, and when they go to bring their arm down, we see that shoulder blade literally fall. There's absolutely no control into that downward rotation. So what that really is poor control or poor eccentric control of upward rotation, right? So as someone is lifting their arms up over their head, we have a concentric upward rotation. When they lower their arm back down, we have an eccentric action of the muscles for upward rotation. So we have this concentric and eccentric type of motion. When they go to lift their arm up over their head and then they simply, boom, fall right back down into place, that's because of some poor eccentric control in their scapular stabilizers or in their scapular controlled mobilizers. So we want to be able to fix that compensation or that dysfunction. And I have found really the best way to do that is through closed chain exercises for the upper extremity. I'm going to have my friends Lindsay and Kristen demonstrate some of my favorite exercises to help combat this compensation. So the first thing we're going to do is a downward dog to plank, which is very fitting considering we are in my yoga studio. So go ahead and get to a plank position, ladies. And what we want to see is exactly what we all typically look at when we begin in a plank position. A nice neutral spine. There's a slight push away in their hands. They're pushing themselves away just a tad in order to put a little bit of tension in their shoulder blades. Now they are going to drive their hips back and upward towards the sky. We're going to see a nice extension of this thoracic spine, a nice stretch of this shoulder, a nice co-contraction of all the muscles around the shoulder complex, and back down to plank. Again, nice co-contraction of all those muscles around the shoulder complex. Push back again.